All right, if you really want to build wealth, you've got to listen to this. You know, real estate investing, it can feel super complicated, right? But what if I told you that pretty much every single success story out there boils down to just three core paths? Seriously, understanding these is the key to the whole puzzle. So let's jump right in. So let's get real for a second. How is this wealth actually built? It's not about getting lucky. It's not some kind of magic. It's about understanding how the money really works, the engines behind it all. And that's exactly what we're going to break down right now.
Yup, you heard me. Just three. And once you get these, it's like a light bulb goes on. You can look at any deal, any strategy, and you'll know exactly what's going on, who it's for, and maybe, most importantly, if it's the right move for you. It just simplifies the whole thing.
But before we jump into those three paths, we gotta pop the hood and see what's powering this whole machine. I mean, every single dollar made in real estate comes from one of two places: appreciation and cash flow. Let's quickly define what those are. Okay, first up we have appreciation. Now this is the long game, right? It's simple. You buy a property and then you wait. Over the years, the market does its thing and the value of your asset just goes up. This is how you build that massive generational wealth, literally making money while you sleep.
And then you've got engine number two, cash flow. Think of this like the paycheck your property sends you every single month. After you pay the mortgage, the taxes, the insurance, maybe fix a leaky faucet, whatever's left over in your bank account, that's your cash flow. It's that immediate recurring income. So let's break it down like this. Appreciation is your long-term wealth builder. It's the why you wait. Cash flow, on the other hand, is your immediate income. It's the why you buy. And each of the three paths we're about to cover uses these two engines in totally different ways. Okay, let's dive into path number one. This is the classic, the one everybody thinks of when they hear real estate investing. It's being the landlord, using the good old buy and hold strategy. This is really the blueprint for building a rental empire. In the process, it's actually pretty straightforward, you know? Step one, you buy a property. Step two, you find some great tenants to live there. And step three, the magic starts. You're collecting that monthly cash flow while your tenants are paying down your mortgage for you, building your equity month after month. Okay, so let's talk pros and cons, because there are definitely both. The upsides are huge. You've got that reliable income, that long-term appreciation we talked about, some amazing tax benefits, and someone else is paying off your loan. But the downsides are real too. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. It takes a bigger down payment, and, well, you actually have to be a landlord. So just how powerful is that appreciation? Well, check this out. For the last 50 years, property values in the US have typically gone up by about 3 to 5% every single year. When you let that compound for a decade, 2 decades, that's how fortunes are really built. All right, time to do a complete 180. If being a landlord is like running a marathon, our second path, well, this one's a sprint. Let's talk about the flipper and the quick cash strategy. This is for anybody who wants their profits faster and isn't afraid to get their hands dirty. With flipping, it's all about speed. You're not in it for the long haul. The whole game is to find an undervalued property that needs some love. Then you come in and you force appreciation by renovating it, and then you sell it fast for a profit. We're talking ideally 6 to 12 months tops. Now, the risk versus reward here, it is no joke. The benefit? You can get a massive chunk of cash all at once, really fast. But the downsides are serious. This isn't passive income, it's a full-on job. The risk of losing money is very high, you need some serious skills, and you're super vulnerable to shifts in the market. So what if you don't want to be a landlord or a construction manager? What if you just want the benefits of real estate without all the hassle? Well, that brings us to our third and final path, the investor. This is the totally passive, low-entry way to get in the game. So how does this even work? It's actually super simple. You put your money into a fund or a company. Think REITs or crowdfunding sites that owns and manages tons of properties. They do all the hard work. No tenants, no termites, no toilets, and you just get a piece of the profits. It's awesome. For a beginner, this is honestly an amazing place to start. The cost to get in is incredibly low, sometimes just a few $100. It's 100% passive, and you're instantly diversified. So what's the catch? Well, you have zero control. You miss out on some of the juiciest tax benefits, and your returns really depend on how well that company is run. Okay, so there you have it, the three main ways to play the game. The landlord for that steady, long-term wealth, the flipper for that quick cash injection, and the investor for easy, passive income. Now let's put them all side by side so you can figure out which one fits you best. This slide right here, this is basically the whole thing in a nutshell. Just look at this and ask yourself some honest questions. What's my real goal? How much risk can I stomach? How much effort am I willing to put in? And how much cash do I have to start? If you want long-term wealth and you're okay with medium effort, you might be a landlord. If you want fast cash and you thrive on high risk and high effort, you're a flipper. And if you want to start small with low effort, you're probably an investor. And look, no matter which path you're leaning towards, you gotta remember this one fundamental truth. Yeah, the market goes up and down, but over the long run, real estate has proven to be one of the most reliable ways to build wealth, almost always beating inflation. So you have the roadmap now. You get it. You understand the three paths, you know, the engines that make them go, and you see the trade-offs. The hardest step, the most important step, it isn't picking the perfect path. It's just picking one and taking that first step. So I'm gonna leave you with this question. Think about it. The landlord, the flipper, or the investor? Based on where you are right now, your goals, your money, your tolerance for risk, which path are you gonna start with?